Welcome to Senior Talk, where we showcase local business and keep seniors informed about things that could be helpful to their lifestyle this time in their lives. It is our goal to encourage people to shop local, stay up to date with what is happening in the community, and get to know the people who live and work in the area. And here is your host, Julie Cosgrove, with the Cosgrove team at Keller Williams.
Hi, so I am here today with Adriana Franco, and she, which is something that has really gotten kind of near and dear to my heart, is talking about your Medicare insurance. And I know that's something that my husband and I had to just do this last year, but even more importantly, why it's so important to me is because I just went through a whole ordeal with my father, and he wasn't on the correct plan, and it really made a difference. And I wish I would have had somebody like Adriana at that time helping us and helping make decisions that should have been made in the first place. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and thank you so much for being here and doing this with me.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Appreciate it. So my name is Adriana Franco. I have been doing Medicare for about 6 years. I started because my mother needed help, and when the person came to help her, it just, the whole process was so much easier, and she was able to put her in a real good plan with her doctors, her medications, and she didn't have any issues. And at that time I had my license, and she said, you know, you should think about doing Medicare. And I thought, I don't know yet, let me think about it. So a couple years went by, and then I actually called her. I said, okay, tell me more about this Medicare, what do I have to do? So she's the one that guided me, and I've been doing it ever since. I love it because I do help a lot of seniors, and there's so many people that do not know what they have. They don't know where to start. They don't know, where do I go to get it? What about my doctors? There's just so many questions, and I'm able to help them and answer all those questions for them.
Right. And I think one of the most important thing is, you know, when you first turn 65, I think that's when we got ours. So when you first turn 65, you're asking yourself, okay, I know I can get this stuff, so where do I go? And unless you have somebody on your side that's going to be able to help answer some of those questions for you, and you know, put it all in perspective, because there is so much. You've got to connect it with your main plan. But I'll let you tell a little bit more. And I know you and I had talked a little bit about, so where do you go other than, you know, if somebody doesn't have an agent or doesn't have somebody like you, how do they find you, or who do they first go to?
Well, first, when you first get your Medicare, you need to apply through Social Security. You have to do it at least 3 months before you turn 65. And then if you, for some reason, forget or don't have time or whatever, you have 3 months after you turn 65. So you have a total window of 6 months to apply for your Medicare. So once you have A and then you have B, that's where I come in, where I help you find a plan. I sit with you, give me your doctor's information, let me see all your medications. And what I do is I help them find the best plan for them that'll cover their medications, they can see their doctors. What about their specialty doctors too? So
right.
I do all that for them.
Well, and the other thing that she and I had talked about earlier is, so if somebody has like diabetes or something like that, then there's a specific carrier or somebody that's going to better fit you, correct?
Correct.
Than another carrier. So
correct.
If you end up just going on one because you think it's the best price and you're just looking on your own, however, it might not be for you. So it really is important to sit down and have somebody go through all your medications. And the reason I have so much passion about this is I'm just going to share a quick story, like what happened with my father. He got put into another plan, and it wasn't to his benefit. He got into an accident, and then the care home that he had to go for rehabilitation was not a place normally that we would have put him. And that was all because he had changed his plan. But in doing that, we had to go through different doctors. It was so hectic. And my dad kind of did this on his own, changing without any of us knowing at first. And so it really became heart-wrenching to see what we had to go through to help him get through what he had to go through.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many families that have the same, issue. What I always tell my clients is, you know, well, people ask me, what's the difference between you and a company? Well, I would be your agent.
Right.
So if you need anything, you call me.
You.
Wouldn't you rather call a person than calling that 1-800 number and getting somebody who
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
know anything about your doctors, your medications, and puts you in a plan for a doctor down south?
Right.
Because they don't know where you live. They don't know what your
They
needs
didn't
are.
take the time with you.
Correct.
They just wanted to get you into a plan.
Yeah, they just get you into
Yeah.
a plan. So that's the difference between having an agent and then calling a 1-800 number.
You know, the other thing we had talked about is that if they can have Medicare and Medi-Cal at the same time.
Yes. So if somebody has Medicare and then they qualify for Medi-Cal, a lot of people don't know that Medi-Cal will pay for that premium for Medicare. This year it's $185, but if you're 100% on Medi-Cal, they will cover that. But you would need to call your social worker to make sure they call Medicare and get it set up. It doesn't automatically happen. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
But you can help walk through that process as well. Let me think. There was something else that we had talked about. So we know that there's plans A's, B's, C's, D's, F, and G's. I don't know.
Yeah, I call it the alphabet soup. That's what we call it, the alphabet soup.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would you, so don't try and confuse yourself. I guess with me laughing about this,
Yes.
It really isn't funny, but don't confuse yourself with trying to figure all that out on your own. That is why you have an agent, and that's why I think it's so important that you do talk to somebody that is knowledgeable of all these different plans. Now, Adriana doesn't work for one specific company, so you can...
I can do all of them, yeah. Because I'm independent, so I can do all the different companies. Yeah, and it gives people more choices
Right.
instead of just one plan.
Right.
Because that one plan may not have the plan for them.
And then we talked about enrollment. So there's only specific times of the year that you can do enrollment. And so go ahead and share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so open enrollment is from October 15th until December 7th. That is a window that you need to do for making any type of changes for Medicare. Even if you just want to review your plan and see what you have and see what else is out there, kind of like shopping.
Yeah.
You know, you have an
Oh, and I
opportunity, a
think it's
window to
important
shop.
to review your plan.
Oh, yeah,
Because
absolutely.
as you age, things change.
Yep.
So when you first were 65 and you got your plan, and now you're 75 or getting up there, things have changed. So it's important to find out, are you on the right plan now?
Yes.
And that's probably something. How often do you recommend people review their plans?
Once a year at least.
Really?
Or,
Okay.
and I tell my clients, if you have any life-changing event, you need to call me
Okay.
immediately.
Got it.
Because that opens up a special window opportunity to find a plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Is there anything else that you would need to know about that you think is really important that people miss?
There's so much. With Medicare, I tell people it's a whole separate world of insurance. But if anybody has any additional questions, they can always call me and we can do like a one-on-one consultation.
Yeah. Just do a free
I don't
consultation.
charge. Yes,
Yeah.
I do not charge for my help. So whatever carriers they select, that's how I get paid.
Got it.
There's never any fee to the client. So,
Great.
and I want to let people know that because a lot of people think that I do charge for what I do, and I don't.
Not to the client
Yeah,
themselves.
not to
So
the client.
anyway, I just want to encourage you, like she said, if you haven't reviewed your Medicare plan for a while and you think you've got a good one, call her, give her a call, and just have her go through it and just see where you're at with things. But thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll have her information here at the end of the slide, and you can just jot it down and give her a call. It's a free consultation. You have nothing to lose. So, hey, thanks for watching. I'm Julie Cosgrove with the Cosgrove team at Keller Williams Realty, and service you deserve and people you trust. And my heart is in helping seniors in any way I can. So, take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.